geeks, my name is Trevor. Welcome back to my channel. Spider-Man No Way Home finally came out in theaters, and safe to say, it lived up to the hype, but it made it the 27th movie inside the MCU, so we're going to rank all 27 of those movies, place them on their proper tiers. Go ahead and join me down below in the comment section. Share your list of all 27 of these movies. How does it compare with mine? Or you guys can just leave your top 5, or you guys can just leave below what you guys thought of Spider-Man No Way Home in full spoiler fashion, because we gotta talk spoilers when we get to it. Make sure to stick around at the end of the video, because we always rank all the movies after they're on their tiers from worst to best. Gotta come and see where Spider-Man No Way Home is going to end up. And if this is your first video here, definitely hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button for more movie reviews, rankings, and reactions. All that and much more coming this week. I'm excited for all of it. Right now, we're getting into the MCU tier list for the final time this year. Let's do this, starting off with our tiers. So, first off, we have top 5. My top 5 MCU is gonna go here. It makes sense, right? Then we have great, then we have good, then we have okay, then we have meh, then we have bottom 5. That great and good tier are going to be filled to the maximum. With that said, let's start out with Avengers Age of Ultron. These movies are in no particular order. I'm gonna put Age of Ultron in the good tier. I remember seeing this on opening day. The theater wasn't all that lively, but it was still a very fun movie, and this is a very fun sequel to the first Avengers movie. All these characters we know just a little bit more now, and the whole language banter getting introduced to characters like Wanda and characters like Quicksilver and things like that. It made it for a fun time at the movies, and the Hulkbuster versus Hulk steals the whole movie. That's exactly what I wanted, and honestly, it's a really fun time. When I go back and rewatch it, I would say this might be one of the most confusing movies inside the MCU. It moves really fast, and I always have lots of questions when I'm done watching it, but it's a good movie nonetheless. Then, starting off with a bang, Avengers Infinity War going in the top 5 spot. Also, Avengers Endgame. We're going to toss that in the top 5 spot as well. We'll start off with Avengers Infinity War. This is the first time we ever saw a villain win, and I love that. And this is arguably my favorite movie of all time. Arguably my favorite movie on this entire list. Infinity War left off with the best cliffhanger of all time. All the action, the Battle of Wakanda, the battle on Titan, and our heroes losing. How are we going to bounce back? Ended perfectly. It's a fantastic movie. I saw it 3 times in theaters. I loved everything about it. Then with Avengers Endgame, it gave us all those answers. And while this is a 3-hour long epic, and a lot of people aren't really a big fan of all the kind of like the whole mission they have to go on, they just like the ending. I love everything about this movie. The entirety 3 hours flies by for me, and that's what I can say about both these. They are 2.5 hours plus, and Endgame is over 3 hours. They fly by. Their rewatchability is so high, and Endgame and Infinity War, you gotta count them as like one big movie. You can't watch one without watching the other. That's how good these two are. Absolutely fantastic. They're both in the top 5. Only 3 more spots to go in there. Then we have Thor the Dark World. I'm going to put Thor the Dark World in bottom 5. Go from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. Well, I don't think Thor the Dark World is a bad movie. I honestly don't really think there's really any bad movie on this list, but Thor the Dark World is one that I just go back and rewatch the least. That's why it's on bottom 5. Then we have Thor Ragnarok. I'm going to put Thor Ragnarok in the okay tier. So, something about this movie, when I first saw it, I loved it. It was like top 5 MCU. Then I rewatched it. It went down, okay, yeah, it's still top 10. Then it went down a little bit more. And the more and more I think about Thor Ragnarok, the less and less I like it. Just because it's basically a comedy. And with comedies, you really can't laugh every time you watch it. And this movie tries to make you laugh the entire freaking time. Thor loses his eye, but he gets right back in Infinity War. Kind of takes away from her. While I think it's still a fun movie, it's gonna go in the okay tier. Then we have the Guardians of the Galaxy, putting that in the great tier. This used to be in my top 5. It is just outside of that now. Guardians of the Galaxy is so much fun. I love these characters. I love the whole world building, and with Peter Quill getting to find out exactly who he is. The characters of Yondu are absolutely fantastic, but also getting introduced more and more to the character of Thanos. Who is this guy? Why is everyone terrified of him? Obviously, we find out why in Avengers Infinity War. Guardians of the Galaxy is absolutely great. I love it. I freaking love it. Moving on, we have Ant-Man. Putting Ant-Man in the good tier. Very low stakes film with like basically a criminal becoming a superhero. Something I really enjoyed. My companion really steals the show with his little monologues. He talks super fast. Paul Rudd he's being Paul Rudd. What more do you want? Then we have Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm going to put Ant-Man and the Wasp in the meh tier. Not the biggest cup of tea. I'm not the biggest fan of this one. The character of Ghost being marketed as this huge villain when she's really not the villain of the movie just kind of took me away from all of it. Ant-Man and the Wasp, really wanted to enjoy it, and part of the problem is I saw this right after Infinity War, so you watch Infinity War, then you go see Ant-Man and the Wasp. Highest highs, kind of the lowest of lows. So, and Ant-Man and the Wasp isn't awful. It's just, I've only seen it twice, and I don't know if I'll ever want to rewatch it again. Sorry, not sorry. Moving on, we have Doctor Strange. Hot take. bottom 5. I tried to get into this movie again this year. I just can't do it. I love the character of Doctor Strange. I just don't like his solo movie. And I'm really excited for Multiverse of Madness. If you stuck around for No Way Home, you get to see lots of things from and for the Multiverse of Madness. But this movie it's not for me. I like him as a supporting character. He's in a little bit in Ragnarok. He's a big part in No Way Home, and he's really one of the stars of Avengers Infinity War. So I like him when he has a group setting around him. I'm excited for Multiverse of Madness. I'm just not the biggest fan of the first Doctor Strange. Then we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the good tier. I'm just gonna leave you guys with this. He may be a father boy, but he ain't your daddy. Never thought I'd cry at a blue guy with a red thing whistle around. Anyways, I love Yondu so much. I really do enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Then we have Where It All Began with Iron Man. Absolutely fantastic movie going in the great tier. How do you not like Iron Man? And this one just really set the tone for who Tony Stark is, how Robert Downey Jr. is going to play him. He made this movie his own. He made his role his own. And he got paid $500,000 for the first movie. Then he ended up paying like $80 million for Avengers Endgame. So Robert Downey Jr. is winning. He is the ultimate character, and I miss him inside the MCU, but I think his story was complete, and I'm really glad they took him away in Avengers Endgame. It's an emotional arc, and he has one of the best arcs inside the MCU. Then we have Spider-Man Homecoming going in that great tier. Spider-Man Homecoming was in my top 5 till another movie came out, which we're getting to here in a second. So Spider-Man Homecoming, everyone calls like, oh, it's just Iron Man Jr. It's another Iron Man movie. Iron Man's in the movie for like 10 minutes, so I never really kind of got on board with that whole like argument. But I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. He's my favorite Spider-Man. And Vulture's one of the best villains. And when Spider-Man's just going on a date, he's like, man, I'm going out. I'm going to take this girl that I've been trying to get out the whole movie. We're going to go to the prom or the homecoming. And Vulture opens the door. Don't act like your jaw didn't drop to the floor as well. It's one of the best plot twists of all time, if not the best plot twist of all time. Spider-Man Homecoming, pretty freaking fantastic. Then we have Spider-Man Far From Home. I'm going to put this in the okay tier. So hear me out on this. This was lower. This is like bottom 5 for me until No Way Home. And the problem for that is because of Mysterio. I just felt like Mysterio was kind of a gimmick. He was a fake. He didn't really have like anything. He just had these illusions, and then he tried to screw over Peter. And he tricked the high school kid. Nothing he did really like convinced me that he was so menacing. He's such a great villain. But after No Way Home, seeing how he just ruined Peter Parker's life and everything that happened in No Way Home is from Mysterio, made me enjoy this one that much more. In the okay tier. I think it might even go up. You know what? We're going to change it right now. We put it in the good tier. That's what you guys witness here if you guys are sticking around. Then we have Black Panther going to go in the good tier as well. Rest in peace to the beautiful man of Chadwick Boseman. I am interested and nervous for Black Panther 2, but this one is a solid movie. I haven't really gone back to rewatch it. It's in the good tier. Got nominated for Best Picture. Hallelujah. Then we have Captain Marvel. Uh-oh. Hot take yet again. Going in my bottom 5. I saw this movie in theaters and I said, yeah, I enjoyed it. I watched it again at home and said, okay. Watched it again at home and just was not a fan. I do enjoy the character of Carol Danvers. I just felt like in this movie, nothing that they did with it made me seem like she could fight Thanos and beat his ass. But she did at Avengers Endgame, so I was always kind of just interested about that and how it never really kind of like convinced us, like, oh my god, Captain Marvel's the best, most powerful superhero ever. Didn't seem like it, but anyways, I love the character of Talos and Nick Fury, young Nick Fury, his best performance as him. So those things still enjoy, just not my favorite MCU movie. Then we have Black Widow, gonna go in the good tier, not okay tier. Getting introduced to characters like Yelena, Red Guardian, seeing Yelena now in Hawkeye makes it all that much more worth it. I want to see the character of Red Guardian again soon. Family, back together again. It's fun. It's a lower stakes film because you know Natasha's going to live because it is a prequel, and the villain of Taskmaster is what really holds us down. They have another villain who I forget his name at this exact second, but Taskmaster was marketed as the villain. I feel like they really dropped the ball with her, and MCU went back to having villain problems. It's something we've heard of and seen time and time again. Then we have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I've seen this movie 4 times this year. Gonna go over in the great tier. I really enjoyed this movie. It was in my top 5. On my last rewatch for it, it dropped down a couple spots. Just didn't hit as hard this time, which is okay. It's still top 10. It's still a fun movie. Still a great movie, and it might even be my top 10 of the year. I can't believe that came in this year. That's what's crazy to me. But Shang-Chi is pretty rockin' fantastic. I mean, like, the character of Shang-Chi, like, how do you not want to be him? I want to be him, but topic for another time. Then we have The Eternals, another movie that came out this year for the MCU. 4 MCU movies came out this year. That's what's crazy. Eternals going to go on the bottom 5. I said this time again. I've very publicly about it. I just wasn't a fan of the Eternals. I felt it had so much potential. I was very excited for it, and I felt like it just fell through the cracks. Talk about the perfect show for this instead of a movie, because It could have been a 12-episode long show. Each episode is 10 episodes. Each episode is about individual eternal characters. At the end of the episode, they team up. Like Ajax and Icarus are teaming them all up. And then the last 2 episodes kind of unfold everything. That would have been much more interesting because they try to cram so much mythology into this that you just couldn't really get invested in any of the characters. And some people like to argue about it, and that's fine. For me personally, just couldn't get invested in these characters, and hence the low score. Then we are going to, the reason we're doing this tier list, Spider-Man No Way Home. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below, hashtag No Way Home. Go on in the top 5 and stick around to see if it goes in that number 1 spot. Spider-Man No Way Home gave us everything and more we wanted. Seeing Tobey and Andrew again just made my life complete, and that's why it's in the top 5. I mean, I watched it again second time yesterday, and it is a little slower in the beginning. I was looking for nitpicks. That's how you know a movie's good, when you're looking for problems with it. The beginning is a little bit slower, but after I watched it again and Tobey and Andrew came in, it made up for all of that. The little back and forth between Tobey, Andrew, and Peter, all relating and talking. How they're all kind of talking and relating themselves like, hey, my spider powers do this, I can do this, I can't do that. And it's funny. It hits on the moments, and it just makes me want to go back and rewatch the Spider-Man movies, and makes me remember why Spider-Man is my favorite superhero of all time. I absolutely love No Way Home. It very well might be the number 1 MCU movie. Have to stick around to find out. Then moving on, we have Iron Man 3. I'm going to put Iron Man 3 in the okay tier. Rewatch this one the other day because I haven't seen this one in about 3 to 4 years. And the problems I had 3 to 4 years ago, I still have. And Shane Black, I thought he could do a little bit better with it. He just did, the director of the movie. But the villain at the end, and a villain the whole time, Killian, just isn't all that menacing. I feel like the best villain is Tony Stark battling with his PTSD. When you look at it that way, I felt it's always a much better film with that kind of villain. And the whole Tony Stark taking out his heart reactor and not going to be Tony Stark and Iron Man anymore, it's just never sat well with me. And then I addressed it a little bit in Infinity War. They're kind of like, yeah, he's our guy, so we're going to keep him, Shane Black. Iron Man 3 is fine, but not my favorite. Then we have Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 is going to go in the bottom 5. And I know what you guys are thinking. The Incredible Hulk and Thor are not in your bottom 5? No, they're not. They're 6 and 7. We're going to get to those in a second. Iron Man 2 very well has its reasoning for being down there. I actually have a best friend who watched this, and it's his favorite MCU movie. Gotta rethink my friendship with him. Anyways, moving on with the Incredible Hulk. Going to go in the meh tier. This one's the only one that doesn't feel like an MCU movie, but it's the battle with Abomination at the end makes me enjoy it more than the other bottom 5. This is, if there's bottom 6, this is that 6th spot on the bottom tier, but I enjoy it a little bit more than the others. I rewatched this one a little bit more than the others, and that's saying something. Then we have Captain America Civil War. Gonna go over in the top 5 tier. How on earth do you not do this? They made you pick a side. I talk about marketing at its finest. I've dwelled on this so many times, but Team Cap or Team Tony, I go back and forth every single time. I always want to be Team Tony because he's trying to do what's right, trying to put them in check. But I say this line all the time, safest hands are still our own from Team Cap. I like the characters on Team Tony more, but I think I am Team Cap. Changed my mind yet again. Tomorrow I'll be Team Iron Man yet again. But Captain America Civil War, get introduced to characters like Spider-Man and characters of like Black Panther. What more do you want? It's awesome, it's big, it's epic, and our heroes are fighting. It packs that emotional punch, and it's in my top 5. I always try to take it out. It's in my top 5. It's locked in. Then we have Thor going in the meh tier. Another. That's all I gotta say. Captain America, the First Avenger, gonna go in the okay tier. I just can't get into this movie as much as everyone else, and it really breaks my heart. The What If episode made me want to go back and rewatch this one that much more. I'm gonna rewatch this one before the Multiverse of Madness. And then while it's not my favorite movie of the MCU, it's definitely not my least favorite. And this the only part that really gets me is like fast forwarding and montaging through like World War One or World War II, whichever one they're in. I kind of forget, but it kind of montages through that and the whole tour he goes on. Just, it took me out of the film then, it takes me out now when I rewatch it, so it's in the okay tier. I wish I loved it like everyone else. And then Captain America the Winter Soldier, gonna go in that great tier. This is like a spy espionage movie. Think of like a James Bond inside the MCU. That's what this movie feels like. You have a UFC fighter George St. Pierre in the beginning of the movie, but then Bucky, the Winter Soldier, starts coming around, and Captain America knows him. That's what really packs that emotional punch, and the end when they're fighting is like, I'm with you till the end of the line. Hits you hard, man. This is the one of the movies in the MCU that I rewatch at least once a year. I'm not saying something over the rest. Pretty damn good movie, if you ask me. And finally, the First Avengers. First movie I ever saw 3 times in theaters, all on opening weekend. Going in my top 5. This is like the one movie that really got me inside the MCU. I was about 13 years old, and this is the one that made me love it. Told my friends, family, everyone to go and watch it because it was epic. It was awesome. The Battle of New York is something that's hold dear to my heart because as a little 13-year-old kid, I was like, this is so freaking cool. And it is. It's in my top 5. So, the moment you've all been waiting for, let's rank all of these, all 27 of them from worst to best. Leave your guys' ranking down below in the comment section. Alrighty. My least favorite MCU movie is going to be Iron Man 2, then Thor: The Dark World, then Eternals, then Doctor Strange, then Captain Marvel. Alrighty, that is 5 out of the way, so now we're at 22. 22, we're going to go The Incredible Hulk. 21, we're going to go Thor. 20, we're going to go Ant-Man and the Wasp. Moving on, 19, we're going to go Iron Man 3. 18, Thor Ragnarok. 17, Captain America, the First Avenger. That right there is a hot take, people. And moving on, number 16, we're going to go Black Panther. Number 15, we're going to go Ant-Man. Number 14, Age of Ultron. Number 13, Spider-Man Far From Home. Number 12, Black Widow. Number 11, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Bringing us in to the top 10. At number 10, we're going to go with Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Number 9, Iron Man. Number 8, Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 7, Shang-Chi. Spider-Man Homecoming coming in at number 6 spot. Here we go. Top 5. A little bit nervous. At number 5, we're going to go Captain America Civil War. At number 4, The Avengers. At number 3, Avengers Endgame. At number 2, Spider-Man No Way Home. Almost at the number 1 spot. After a couple more rewatches, it very well might be. But my favorite MCU movie still to this day is Avengers Infinity War. I've seen this movie 50 times. It's in my top 10 of all time, and until No Way Home gets there, it will be at number 2. How does your ranking compare? Let me know down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the thumbs up button for me. Hit that subscribe button for me. Couple more MCU videos coming for the end of the week, and then we gotta dive into Hawkeye. All that and much more. I'm looking forward to all of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.